Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Triple Crown race here at North Texas Karters. Now, it's been a very long time since I last raced here at NTK. Actually, it's been so long that this is my first race of the year at NTK, and it's June. So the time of recording, it's June. So it's been well over 6 months since I last was on this track in this kart. And so for those of you new to racing, if you take long periods of breaks, you're going to be a little rusty. So going into this race, I was a little rusty. We qualified 13th out of 19 people, so not that great. I didn't get to do any of the practice sessions because I read the itinerary wrong and thought the practice was later in the day. So qualifying was really my actual practice. We got 5 laps of qualifying, and I got 13th out of 19. So going into this race, I really don't have a strategy of how it's going to go. There's a lot of familiar and unfamiliar faces, so I really don't know what to expect. I do know that I'm on the inside, and so I'm just going to try and hug it narrow because that's the best thing to do around NTK. So flagman waves green, we're good to go. And right off the bat, you can see there are some people going out wide to open up the corner into turn 1. You really don't want to do that at the start. And so we gain a position. We're up into 12th now. Going side by side through turn 2, gain another position because we had the inside yet again. Through turn 3, we did go a little wide because there was someone on our inside, so we had to give them room. Going through the chicane, also side by side. You can't see it, but I did have to go side by side. You can see it lost a lot of my momentum going down the straight here. But fortunately, there's a lot of people all jumbled up going into turn 7, and so that kind of slows them down. Kart number 623 taps the back of his head. He wants me to work together with him. I don't know who this is, but based off his racing suit, I'm going to call him Jacob. So Jacob here, wanting me to push him. I don't know if he's quick or not, but I can see up ahead that there are a lot of people fighting. So I don't want to fight with Jacob too much. I want to try and gain some positions up ahead because you can see they're going side by side through every corner. Contact is being made, hands are being raised, and I'm getting passed through the chicane here. So back there, didn't get the best of runs going through turn 3. I think I might have backed into the back of Jacob there, kind of ruining my momentum. And kart 64 was able to pass me going to the chicane. So we gained 2 positions at the start. Lost 1 position on lap 2 here, but again, up ahead, a lot of people are fighting. So going into turn 1, kart number 664 looking for the move on Jacob. Thinks better of it. Not quite close enough to kind of push him into that move. It's very hard to gain on people whenever you're in a train like this because the person in front of you will have a slipstream and so will you, and it's very hard to gain. If you've ever seen Formula 1, you know what I'm talking about. They call it a DRS train. Kind of similar here. But I felt like 664 had some decent pace. I kind of want to get around Jacob. He's not quite closing in on the pack in front the way I would hope he would. But you can see 664 making some mistakes too. I felt like I was getting better throughout the day, just dusting off the rust. And so going down into turn 1 here, we're going to try and go for the move on 664. He made a mistake at the exit of turn 9. And so I dive up the inside. He gets the cut back on me. So he has the inside for turn 2 here. And I'm not able to pass him. Going to turn 3, I think there was someone on my left-hand side there because I had to go in narrow. So that's not going to help. You can see that 664 pulling away from me. And then he actually has enough of a run to pass Jacob here. I think he might have gone side by side with someone as well. So maybe I shouldn't have gone for that move. I would have gotten around Jacob. But going into turns 8 and 9 here, he taps the back of his helmet. He wants me to work together with him. But exiting turn 9, we're going to see the flagman wave 2 to go. Now, if you glance in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see we're on lap 5 out of 8. And if you know your math, that does not mean we have 2 more laps left. So the flagman was actually supposed to be waving halfway, but we as the drivers don't know that. So we have to take everything the flagman says literally. So at this point, I'm thinking we have 2 laps left. I gotta try and pass the people in front of me as fast as possible, because there's not a lot of laps left in this race. That's what I'm thinking. So going through some of these corners, I'm really trying to keep close to them, but just like through corners like turn 3 and this corner, turns 8 and 9, I just bump into the back of them and kind of just ruin my momentum. I felt like I had a little bit more mid-corner speed than them, but it's kind of hard whenever you bump into the back of them. But going into turn 1, we see the flagman is not waving the white flag, and so I'm thinking maybe he forgot. This is the last lap, so we're going to try our best. Turn 3, again, bumping into the back of Jacob doesn't really help me. And it also doesn't help me that he has the slipstream of the guy in front. You see just how close we are here. And I actually have Chris behind me. Chris White, he is a friend of mine. Brilliant name. But he's behind me, keeping pressure on me as well. So if I make a mistake, he is going to pass me as well. And so going down the straight here, I get in Jacob's slipstream. I look for the move. And lo and behold, I see the flagman waving 2 to go again. And so at this point, I'm thinking this is probably the real 2 to go now. There's no more bull crap anymore. Going to turn 2, I backed off a little because, like I said, through turn 3, I felt like I just gained a lot and just ruined my momentum. You see right here just how much I gained going into turn 3, and I even backed off going to turn 2. But this time, I get a good enough run coming out of the chicane. And so I'm going to have the inside going into turn 7 here. I go in a little deep, a little late on the brakes, but not too bad. And I think he tried to get the cut back on me. And so we're going side by side into turns 8 and 9 here. I have the inside. And so coming out of turn 9, we see the flagman waving the white flag. I go in narrow, try and cut off any move on the inside. I look behind me. They weren't that close, so there's no point in going defensive here. And so we're just going to take the normal racing line. The next best spot for someone to pass you is going to be turn 7, so I just got to make sure I nail turn 3. And like I said, I thought I was doing turn 3 a little bit better, so I look behind me going down the straight here. No reason to go defensive, but looking up ahead, we can see 2 people wiping each other out. Little fun fact, if you're going to pass someone on the last lap, don't wipe yourself out. It just doesn't work. And so gaining another 2 positions there on the last lap. Going down the straight here, Chris was actually right behind me. I think he managed to pass Jacob. So that's why I was going a little narrow down the straight there. But after 8 laps, starting 13th, finishing 9th, I'm happy with that. That's a net gain of 4 positions. This is just the pre-final, so there's another race to come. I'll be posting that later. And that race was a pretty good race. You don't want to miss that one. But that's all I'm going to have for today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please do comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.